really try to pull within who you are into the dance. Just try to bring more you into the dance. You know, everyone is opinion. I like seeing specialists at something rather than average at everything. Because I think we're continually
Yes.
told, like, get your foundation, get this, and then you're a b-boy. But like, I guess growing up, someone would be like amazing at power. Someone would be amazing at footwork or the weird thing that they're really good at. And maybe they might even focus on just that, like a lot of it. But that's what made them stand out.
Yo, welcome to CypherBeastT.V. We have a b-boy that started in the late 90s. He's from Canada. He's in crews such as The Hoods, So Felons. We got no other than JBugz. We'll be going over his journey, talks about the Canada scene, and so much more. I'm your host, Tony47, and enjoy this episode. Hey, yo, what up? We got a real dope b-boy here in Canada. He is in Soul Felons crew. We got JBugz. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good, man. How's it going?
Good, good. You know, before we kick off the show, I'm the host 24/7, and a little bit about me. I'm out here in Portland, Oregon. I've been dancing for 17 years, off and on. I won jams, I judge jams, I thrown jams out here in Portland, Oregon. The context of this podcast and new channel is to explore your mindset, your knowledge, and whatever value you can bring through your visual lens and inspire others as well. JBugz, cool, man. So glad to
Hey,
have you on. Such a
I'm
blessing.
glad to be here, man.
So I want to know, how did you get into breaking or breakdancing?
Okay. So basically it was I was in junior high and it was a wrestling unit in gym. So there's these mats out and there's this one kid trying to do a windmill and he kept on trying it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, and maybe just in my head, I'm like, whatever you're doing, I can do it, right? But I
Yeah.
didn't know it was breakdancing. It was just like a twirly move. And so that was like the first image of breaking that I ever seen. And then that year, there was a group of guys who were breaking at my school, but I didn't really see them until they performed at our talent show.
Okay.
And so those are the first images of breaking that I seen. And then the following year, that's when I wanted to break and saw the people breaking in my school hallways, and I joined them. And so that's
Oh,
kind of the
nice.
gist. And so yeah, there was kind of like a Friday drop-in at this one YMCA at another school. And
Okay.
I guess that's where people went to battle. It was like really amateur. It wasn't like anything organized, but that's how I started, I guess.
Nice, nice. And what year was that? If you can
Uh
remember.
like 98, 99.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
So
dope. Dope.
yeah.
Are you seeing some of those cats in those hallways until this day?
No, I'm
Oh,
I'm the only one.
right. No,
Yeah.
that some people do. They'll be like, "Oh, wow, it's crazy." It could be crewmates
Like
and they keep going, you know? Yeah.
there are people from my generation or before that are breaking from Calgary. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
Still, but not those specific ones from my junior high school or high school.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Hmm.
Okay. All right, cool. How did you come up or how did you get your name, JBugz?
Okay, so my first name was actually B-Boy Enzo. And
Okay.
Enzo is from a show called Reboot, if anyone has seen it. It was the first ever CGI cartoon on what we called YTV. I guess it's sort of like
Ah,
the
interesting. Okay.
Canadian Cartoon Network. And so
Okay.
Enzo was just this character that I thought I looked like. And I'm like, I'm going to name myself after him. But
Uh-huh.
then online, someone had confused me with there's a guy named B-Boy Benzo in Bag of Tricks.
Ah.
So Benzo, Enzo, someone's like, "Hey, are you Benzo from Bag of Tricks?" And I'm like, "No."
Okay,
And so
okay.
maybe I thought like, "Oh, like it's too similar to this guy's name." And so how it came about is that I have a crew member named Rob Toe, and so his initials are RT, and
Uh-huh.
so we had a b-boy named Artistic. And so I'm like, "There's no way someone's gonna confuse my name." So if I spelt it JB, so my name is Jason Burdani. So I took my initials
Okay.
JB, and then my crew member was just
Ah.
bouncing names like J Boogie, J Bounce, and then he said like J Boogs kind of thing, and I was like, oh, okay, and he was like, yeah, yeah. and I didn't like my name for like a lot of years actually. Not a lot, but like people started calling me that and I wanted to change it again, but then I
Uh-huh.
kind of like embraced the name and it just stayed. And
Oh,
so
okay.
now I love it, but like there was a moment of insecurity there where I was like, "Mate, that this isn't me," and then it totally became me.
Yeah.
So that's
Damn.
how
Dope.
JBugz came about.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope. Nice. So the initials of your names at the end, Boogs or Bugs, yeah, kind of
yeah, JBugz, yeah. And
J-Bugs.
so Brdani is a Ukrainian last name. I'm half Ukrainian, half Filipino, and so
Oh,
like it
okay.
just
Word.
JB Bugs. Yeah.
Ah, dope. Dope. Love it. Sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I know even when I delve into my name, like bugs, it's like, what does bugs mean? And so I started thinking like, bugging out. What are moves that make people bug
Mm.
out or insect? And so it's kind of like, okay, like what kind of moves can I make that reminisce an insect, different than insects,
Ah,
And kind of
okay.
that's how I started to embrace my name. I really wanted to be like look like my name, if that made sense.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I seen your style and stuff like that. You do a lot of groundwork, some threading is in the like connecting with the bug movement. I'm thinking of like a potato bug almost doing like these like ground moves and stuff.
Mm,
That's what I'm picturing right now. But no, that's dope. That's real dope. Um, I
yeah.
got my name through from Alex Boogie from he's Moon Patrol crew. So before he got Moon Patrol, we're practicing back then and our jam. And I used to make my runs on a competition like a minute
Hmm.
and a half, maybe almost 2 minutes. I don't even know. My runs were so long where like because in my mind I was like, I don't know if that's enough. I'm gonna keep doing footwork or trying to edit again after I should have ended then, but I keep
Yeah.
going. And then he just came about. He's like, man, he's like, you're dancing on the floor forever. He's like, I'm gonna call you Tony 4/7 because my name's Tony and
Yeah.
24/7 on the floor. So that's how I got mine. So it's kind of cool in a way. And I didn't really love it at first too. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then
Yeah.
there's a few other names that I came out and then I didn't really love those as well. I was like, huh. Then I went back to 24/7 and then I kind of embraced it as well too. And now I love it too.
Hmm. Yeah, for a moment it's just like, is this me? Like maybe you want this authenticity to go with your name. I don't know. But yeah, that's dope you kept it.
Yeah.
Maybe those rounds would be beneficial now because they're like all these new gens are doing like minute-long sets, you know?
Yeah, right. Now it's like now it's common.
Yeah. Minute,
So
minute and 30 seconds of like everything. Power
yeah.
forward, top rock freezes. It's too much for my
Oh,
food, but
right.
yeah.
Everyone's good nowadays. It's crazy. That's the generation, when breakers and evolves, right? So from
Yeah.
before what you're learning and now it just the next level. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Nice. So
Yeah.
what crews are you all in? You're in a few crews or is it just Soul Felons?
I'm in a few crews. They're not all active, but it's not like I left the crew, but like, yes, I rep a few crews. So,
Okay.
from Calgary, there's a crew called Almighty. I'm still down Soul Felons and Hoods. And then
Yeah.
there's a Japanese crew that I got down with. It's sort of like there was a practice spot where everyone was like getting down at, and we kind of just named like the group that, and it's called Rainy Day and Coffee Break. And so
Okay.
it's guys from Osaka, I guess. Like let's say Babylon is in it, and everyone knows him. And it's like a bunch of rockers, breakers, people who are at that studio. So
Okay.
yeah, we're not like entering as that or trying to connect to do that thing, but I am still repping it?
Dope. That's sick.
Yeah,
It's like more than a break crew, right? It's kind
just some
of
friends. Yeah.
yeah. Nice. And who's all in because Soul Fellas, I know you got the I don't know how many exactly people. I know Thomas Origami, King Reds, in the Hoods, you got Dan Vital. The Hoods got actually expanded right now, right? You got
Yeah, so
Woody
the
and
like
um
Hoods initially was kind of Soul Felons, Dance Brooms, and a crew named Body Language together. And then
okay.
over the years it got like I joined the squad and like different people from everywhere. And now it's sort of like the leftover people who are old that are still dancing. A few younger
Yeah.
guys got in, like let's say Samson from Vancouver. Um,
Oh,
and
word.
but
I
he's
didn't know
like
that.
mid-20s, like he's not young, but he's
Yeah.
younger than us.
Oh,
And
right,
so,
right.
and then lately, to be honest, like there's been more guys who got down. I haven't even met them yet or talked to them yet, really.
Uh-huh.
But, I'm like, okay, like it's kind of that's happening in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm in
Yeah.
the East, so I'll just hear about it. And so, yeah,
Right. Yeah, I think some crews over here or some B-boys over here in Portland recently got on the crew. Rona Kim, he's from Movement Patrol. I think he's in the hoods now. I believe so. And then Tombo, which is New
okay,
Birth Crew,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is the generation before us. And I think Surge from Jungle Brothers just got in.
yeah.
Um
Yeah, he did, yeah.
he did. Okay. That's right. That's right. Okay.
So he's living in Portland now. I know that he was bouncing around a bit. He was even in Toronto for a while, but yeah, Serge is
Oh,
ill.
okay. Yeah, Surge. Yeah, he's here living here right now. So
Nice, yeah. So shout out to Serge. He's dope.
Surge. Yeah, yeah. Dope,
We
dope.
we actually were supposed to have like an exhibition way back when, like a setup one. It never happened, and then I'm happy we're a crew because I thought like back then, like, dude, it's gonna be a hard battle with him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he does a
So
lot of he does some threading, some ground stuff and some tricks and blow-ups as well. And
he's a
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
explosive dancer, but like he's a smart idea guy too. Like there's some stuff where I'm like, damn, I wish I could have thought of that. Like thought of it first.
right.
Like those ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, nowadays it's everything's been done. It's just now how can you do the move to make it your own, you know?
Yes, I know that's said a lot. I guess like let's say one of my mentors is a guy named Moshe. He's from my hometown, got down with skill methods.
Okay.
You've probably seen him. I don't know. But one of the things that he used to say to me is like, yo, do you believe like every joke has been told? And I'm like, well, no. He would be really philosophical, or even
Yeah.
he said something about like, you think you've seen every cloud that you could see, and so he really pushed
Right.
like it is possible to make something new. Like
Yeah.
I know that it's like everything has been done, gets thrown around, but like I think the attempt to at least try to like you shouldn't just like look outward and like take stuff and flip it. Like you
Right,
hope
right.
to like not have that uh like an outside image. You're like really pulling from in to like bring out. And
Yeah.
so I guess
Yeah.
you should at least attempt that. And so I guess I don't know. Maybe I'm going too deep there, but
No,
just
no,
at
I
least
love
try.
it. Keep
Yeah.
going. It's dope. You gave me a trigger in the head. Yeah, I believe so. Is right. There's things out there that probably hasn't been done, but it's within the breaking. I traditional all the breaking foundation moves. It's obviously been done now. It's like double air flares and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But there's one move and that caught my. I've been thinking about doing for the past several years. I just never attempted. I don't know if you ever played King of Fighters. Terry Bogard.
Yes.
So
Okay,
he
great.
does that one. Basically, it's the all you can from like Street Fighter, but he does a kick version, right? I was like,
Mm,
that'll be so sick to like do a corkscrew like that, and then
mm,
and just like catch and land into like maybe a windmill or baby mill right after or something. Or I've never seen that done, right? Because that's
mm.
kind of like defines global gravity because you're upside down and trying to do. It was almost like a 2000 no hand, right? I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but
I'm sure someone will make some form of it, or if you can get it first, or
right,
even just like, yeah, something close to it would be dope.
yeah, yeah. Man, that's dope. That's cool. Cool. In your eyes, how would you define your kind of your creativity and your style? I know you said, you mentioned kind of like a bug, your bugging style, but in your sense of mind, do you have a set saying or kind of how would you wrap around in like kind of your creativity?
Um, I guess so. Let's see. A lot of my breaking is concept based. And so what I do is like, so there's a base idea and it can go whichever direction. Like, let's say it could be the most basic thing, let's say is cross leg.
Okay.
So let's say if you were to just think of that, yes, it could be done in footwork, top rock, a freeze, whatever. But I guess like I tried to think of it in transitions or kind of like half moves. Like let's say in a halo, like a complete halo, people think hands to hands. Let's say
Mm,
that's one complete one.
yeah.
Like I think or visualize like, okay, halfway in motion, let's say, is it possible to cross leg? And then that's just thinking of it in a really basic form. And so it kind of like, let's say if I'm trying to create something like a step, I'll have the base concept and I'll try it in every way that I know possible. So that could be
Mm.
like different levels, like in a back rock, a footwork, a crab
Okay.
level, and build from there. So let's say one concept gets messed around with 5 times, let's just say on levels. You can do it in different speeds, momentums, or torques. So let's say slow, medium, fast. And so each idea gets played with 3 more times in 3 different ways. So
Mm.
just like probability wise, the more I play with an idea, it kind of like by chance out of like 30 attempts, maybe one might be like, hey, that could work. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a probability game with ideas.
Okay.
And so like what I used to do, let's say, is I'll watch footage of myself and I'm like, okay, if I was a b-boy trying to bite this move, how would I flip it or how would I bite it? And so I would actually recycle things that I do numerous times. And maybe that's how I come up with ideas. Like instead of biting someone else, I'm actually, my source is me.
Mm.
So, um, yeah, it's a stumbling effect where like I don't know where I'll end up, but just the attempts at trying something multiple times, something might click. Like I basically wait for the, oh, that's fresh because I could do everything, let's say, right? I've tried it and I did it, but nothing feels right. And so I'll wait till that like, oh, that was fresh. So after like
Mm.
maybe it could be like an hour session and one thing was like, oh, that was maybe kind of cool. So it could be a lot of time wasted, you could call it. But at the same time, if I come home with one good idea, let's say all week, and then let's say that's 4 ideas a month, but these are quality
Right.
ones that I want to keep, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of like how I've come up with or played with ideas. That's how I create. And so, yes, I brought up the bug thing. Okay, so let's say if I were to literally think like a spider. Yes, I'll
Uh-huh.
try all these spider moves, but then it's just like, could a spider move be done during power? Could a spider move be done during top rock? And so it's really like, if you were cooking and someone gave you cheese, like what are the different ways you can cook cheese? It's kind of like messing around with that.
Right. Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's always a base concept, and then it'll push me this way, push me that way, and then maybe the like end idea is far out here, but like I kind of, and then I got to that point,
Yeah.
just through a series of attempts. And
Yeah.
so I do have a lot of ideas that kind of look similar, but in the same way that, like, let's say Hong Ten uses hollowbacks, he has like a
Hmm.
hundred different hollowback moves, and they're all different. Or Rockstride is really good with stacks. He's like mastered the stacks, and it's just like look at all the ways he can use it, you know?
Yes.
And so it's kind of that, but concepts, I guess.
That's dope. Yeah.
Kind of
No, that
rambled on there, but
no, that's good because it kind of triggered in my head when I practice, like, right. And so sometimes I'll do a move, um,
mm,
and like, so some people would say I'm practicing with, oh, maybe you should try it this way, but I was like, that's their way, but I don't feel it because I wanted to feel it my way and like feel good about it and kind of
mm,
created my how would I do this move
mm,
in a different way, right? And so, um, no, that's real good because takeaway from those, you can try so many different moves, but if you get that one piece a day or you feel good doing that, kind of you keep it, right? And
yeah,
kind of play
maybe a
around.
friend or homie is even just like, yo, what did you do? And it's like, oh, that was fresh. And like out of all the attempts, maybe that's the one you keep. And so like one gold idea can like stay with you for life, you know what I mean? You will go through
Yeah.
ideas that you try and do for like a year or two and trash it, just you're not feeling it, but some might stay with you. And
Yeah.
then so let's say also um let's say you do come across something through experimenting that someone else does. In my opinion, don't feel that I should stop doing it only because I have the backstory as to why I was doing it. So let's say it's like some b-boy has a move and I saw it and I want to try it
Uh-huh.
because I saw this b-boy do it. I think that's wrong. But let's say I'm trying all these ideas because I'm thinking of a spider, let's say, and it's like, yo, I spent all day thinking about this spider and I came across by accident this other b-boy that does it. That's where I feel like I shouldn't stop doing it because it's different, like,
Oh, okay.
I have this backstory to it. Like I really was creating something genuine from me, not looking outward and bringing in, but something going out.
Yes, yes.
So that's where I feel you shouldn't stop. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
It's
Some
the intention, I guess you could say, of the move. Like, are you grabbing it because it's dope and it's because it's effective that this guy's doing it, or are you like, something else? You know?
Yeah. So I got a few signature moves out here that are my own, and I see nobody ever like done those signatures like the way I would do it, right?
Mm.
The moves. Have you ever seen someone done some like a similar movement that you do, but you don't know who this
Yes.
guy is, or you just saw some random guy did it, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's so many b-boys around that like uh, it's gonna happen by chance. There's also b-boys I felt who have directly like they give it up to me too. Like, they know me and they're like playing with the idea because it's dope. But you know, I think try to keep it a minimum because then you'll just be an amalgamation of like other people's stuff where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
hope to be like really proud of the stuff that you genuinely tried to like bring out. And
yeah.
so I think that's the point of breaking is like all our heroes, let's say, I don't think they were like let's say Ken Swift. I don't think he was trying to emulate some other dude or
Oh,
an
right.
abstract trying to emulate some other dude. They had something special that they were trying to show. And then all of us were like, whoa, this is amazing. So it's kind of like you hope to do the same, that you could be proud of the things you thought of instead of like,
Yeah,
oh, yo, this is dope. If I just change this little thing, now it's mine. Oh, this is dope. If I change this little thing, now it's mine. It's kind of like not the same. I know, you could do that,
right.
but I guess like I try to go this other route.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Like a lot of the moves that I learned in the past, it was I saw clips and battle clips when I was learning, last 10 years in breaking, but I didn't really know too much unless it's in the Portland scene. I didn't really watch too much videos or anything like that either, dipping into
Hmm.
history. And now I'm with this past like years, as I'm getting older, I kind of more interested in like the history and kind of the concepts of this move or like the background story. And so I'm really trying to understand that a little bit more as just to be more knowledgeable and how moves are different mindsets of others too as well, just to see how things are created. And um so a lot of my style is very unorthodox if you see me break, but
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everyone has their way. So it's kind of, yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, dope, man. Cool. What would you say? What would be your top memorable b-boy jam or breakdance jam?
Most memorable.
Or yeah, the most one you can remember, or
Uh, I guess
I know you done some good ones out there. Um,
I could name a few. I guess okay. One of the early ones was there's a jam called Fight Before Christmas in Vancouver, and I was not living in Vancouver yet at the time, but I was set up to battle Thesis there, and
oh,
that
okay.
was like a prime young Thesis. Like I thought I was gonna go in and get smoked. Uh, but I guess what happened is that there was a power outage at the jam, and
Oh,
people were
damn.
like, "Oh, you guys gotta go! Like, there's no music, no nothing." And then he called me out, and it ended up being like a 30-round battle.
Wow.
And it was just
Wow.
like, there was moments where I think we both wanted to stop, but at the same time, maybe our pride was like, no, And so I guess like after that, to me that was like one of the biggest things that I had done. Like I felt like I hanged with like I guess a very accomplished dude at that time. Like he was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
And
And
so
30 rounds
yeah.
is not easy.
Well, it just, yeah, they're not like competition rounds, but it'd be like a move and then a move and then it just went back and forth. Yeah. So I guess that was one of the biggest ones, I would say earlier. I think that was 2008, something like that, 2009,
Oh, okay.
somewhere around that time.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I guess another one, there was a jam not long ago, I think 2018, something like that, 19. Um, there was a jam in Montreal that flew me to something called BIS in Shanghai.
Okay.
But like to get there, I ended up having to beat some like dope Montrealers, and I ended up beating Fleo in the finals in Montreal.
Oh
And like
wow.
he had gotten me at the first Red Bull that happened in 2014. So I always was just like, I'm gonna get you back, you know? Like I internalized that. And I guess like beating Fleo, I was like, oh, this is like a huge thing to me.
Nice.
Beating Fleo in Montreal. And so I guess like that was my thing. I kind of
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know if you know the phrase shit the bed. That's what happened in when I went to Shanghai. But like
Uh-huh.
to get there, I did really good, I felt.
All right. Yes, it's probably have
Yeah.
you was that your first time down there?
Uh,
In the scene in Shanghai?
in Shanghai, yeah. And so I think it was like 16 Chinese B-boys that were invited and 16 world. And so I
Oh
guess
wow.
uh it was like my first time seeing people like Alkalil, who like in person is
Uh-huh.
amazing. I think like Alkalil to me is maybe the most impressive b-boy I've seen in person. Like I don't think he was even doing his competition stuff, but what he was just doing playing around like while we were practicing, I was like, this dude's insane, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
I
few
like
other
him.
people that
Alkali.
I seen in person there that I was like I'd never seen before. To be honest, like I'm not that well internationally traveled, I guess you could say. And
Right.
so there's only been a few times that I've actually went international. So this was like one of three of well, I go to the States, yes, but like this is like China, another was Europe, and that's it really. And Japan.
Hi.
So,
That's crazy. Yeah, the more I'm getting involved in like people's stories and within the podcast, right? And so it's like the world is small, or no,
mm,
the world's big but small at the same time. The people you meet and stuff within
yeah.
within the scene, right? And because there's so many people at the States, and then you got Canada, and then Europe and Asia, and just all around the world. It's crazy how that connects, with each other, different mindsets and different cultures, and just you know when it comes to dancing, it kind of comes in one, right?
Mm.
So it's real
Yeah,
dope.
dancing's crazy that way. It really is like I don't know. I know a bunch of people that I wouldn't have met without dancing. I'm sure everyone has this story, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm happy I break.
Yeah. What is there, if you weren't breaking, what would you be doing, you think?
I
Or is that
guess, yeah, previous to breaking, I did play soccer pretty
okay?
competitively for over 10 years,
Oh
like
wow.
indoor and outdoor league. And I also was like, my parents had me like training with certain, like kind of like workshops outside of the league. And so that was like my thing for a long time. Uh,
Okay.
That and volleyball, actually. I played a few years volleyball, and also played in an outside league for volleyball. So I
Okay,
guess
dope.
like something athletic was sort of the dream until I grabbed a hold of dancing.
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's the only thing I could think of. Actually, there was a moment like I was apprenticing to be an electrician, and then the lifestyle that you would get into doing that, like I guess in Calgary, was I felt like I can't dance and do this, and I kind
Uh-huh.
of bad decision in hindsight, but
Right.
like I chose to be a dancer.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I like to look at dancing now. It's in the past several years is almost like you're entrepreneur as well, because you try to
Mm.
find gigs, find ways to make some money out of it, right? You got gigs, judging, throwing jam. There's so many different sources out there. Just got to find the right one that sticks. And um, no, no, it's definitely a long game too. And I think the ability for it to, or the down the road when it's getting into Olympics, I think it'll give it more open doors just for b-boys, b-girls, and breakdancers in the long run. Once that showcases, or debuts on officially on TV, I think that
Mm.
that might get more notice. I think it's already a lot of notice, like within like big companies. Nike's already got a few sponsorships, like Kid Kareem, sponsored by Nike. I think B Girl G Lose, sponsored by Nike. Shiga Kicks,
Yeah.
and I think it's just more to come. They definitely want world class people, but for it to progress, I think it gives opportunities for others and new generation to look something forward to that too. Because
Yeah, it's crazy. Like this stuff didn't exist before. Like the earliest memories I heard of like someone being sponsored was like the tribal team. And then I remember
yeah,
hearing like Wild Style technicians sponsored like Cujo. And it's just like, whoa, this is so dope, you know? Like I want to buy their shirt because this means that I'm a b-boy. And then now it's like Nike and actually like I always thought like damn I think Lacoste would be like cool to be sponsored by just because like I'm into that clothing
uh
too. So I know that
yes,
like there's a Lacoste team I believe.
uh-huh,
There's like what is it? Ami's sister, there's a Leaf part of it, Lilu and a few others that are
really, oh,
sponsored by Lacoste and I was like damn that'd be a cool brand.
oh
But
wow,
yeah. It will open doors. You know, earlier, funny enough, you said talking about like making money with breaking. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I actually never pursued that. I always like worked a job and kept breaking as like my art. Uh,
yes,
there was a moment where I tried to like try to make money from breaking, but I felt like it was such work that it kind of wasn't as fun when I finally got to
mm,
break when I had the time to, you know?
yeah,
And
for
so
sure,
it would be draining, you know. And
yeah,
teaching kids is draining, although teaching kids is where most of the money that's probably where the most money is if you wanted to make money off breaking is teaching kids.
right, yeah,
But that's a skill and some people can do it and some people can't, I feel. And I think like yeah, teaching is
yeah,
hard now,
it is.
especially doing it all the time. Yeah.
Definitely. I taught back in the past as well too. And I had students that were, 5, 6, 7 years old. And it came to a point I felt like it was kind of almost like babysitting a little bit. I mean, I teach
Yes.
them fundamentals, this and this, but it's like I think they're young still and they're still trying to learn like their maybe their passion at the time. I'm not sure, it's sometimes it's tough to get them there because you're ready to teach, but you're there to teach, like get them like learning stuff and breaking.
I don't know how Japan or like Russia, Ukraine kids, they just like I always wondered like are they forced to like, you know, drill and train hard or like are these young kids just like really wanting to learn and they absorb everything? Because like yeah, I remember teaching and it yeah, as you said, it's babysitting, but it seems like how do these kids who are like 5, 6, 7 and they're already amazing, like how did you do it? Like what is the formula to like
Yeah,
do that. You know, it's mind-boggling to me, but it's amazing that they're able to do it over and over again,
yeah,
you know. So by
yeah.
the time like what is Hero 10, something like 16, 17, and he's
uh
like destroying it already, like how? You're 17, like or Shiga Kicks is however young. There's so many Raptor, I don't know. Like how did you get to that? It's crazy.
right, yeah. They started at a young age and they kept going, and yeah, it's
But
crazy,
like
right?
who is the teacher that like helped
Right.
you get there? Like what is the way? Like it's I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there's a method. So it's out there somewhere. It's just you think you just got to find the right answer, right?
Mm,
Yeah, it could be parents too, how dedicated they want them to be there. Um,
yeah,
and
that's true.
so, how much they're willing to pay to with the teacher too, or private lessons, or I don't know, who knows, maybe their previous parents were dancers or something and taught
Yeah, I
them while
guess
they're
so.
young. So yeah, there's a lot of different options or different things that play a role. So
Yeah, I wonder about it, or is it? I don't know. Most of the kids that I used to teach was just like they were put there because the parents kind of like, here's something for you to do. Try to
Mhm.
like it, you know? And then they're just like, what am I doing here? And so,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
yeah. I wonder if that like sets apart as like a break dancer and like the so-called b-boy, right? There's kind of like two subjects there. You a break dancer or like a b-boy, and for me, I like to teach and make sure you learn and like actually start getting good. But there's also
Mm,
people there just kind of like, oh, cool. I'm there getting paid for this teaching class. I'll just teach them whatever they want to learn, and it's up to them if they want to learn or not, right? So there's
mhm.
two different. I think there's two different ways of that to see it, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah, my bad.
teaching is good. It's good. All that stuff. Yeah, comes to plays definitely a role to make some funds off that, and hopefully, that the Olympics it builds that more people to come in a career way or more new generation willing to start getting more practice involved or
Yeah,
breaking involved.
definitely seeing something like, let's say on TV, you said, it would
Uh-huh.
instill like in the kid's mind, probably most likely that it's like, oh, that's the goal. I can be that, you know? It's yeah. So this new generation, it's gonna be crazy, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, for
also gonna
sure.
be like not how it was for us when we were younger, but at the same time, it'll be this version that'll be, yes, like a lot of companies are funneling money into it and all this stuff, but hopefully, like I don't want to say the underground, I guess it is, but like hopefully that
Yeah.
exists too, the
Yeah.
actual culture of it.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure there still be have that underground rawness. Those they're there, and then there's the I don't know commercial sponsors down the road too. I'm pretty sure there'll be more. I think probably yeah. I think it'll still be there. It's just what you prefer and what you like to get
Mhm.
involved with and what jams and stuff. But go ahead. Let's out in Canada. So that's been blowing up. Phil Wizard's been blowing up. I would say pulling Canada, putting on the map right now. There's a lot of Canadian b-boys out there that are competing. Phil Wizard's one of them. I see, there's Onto Teo. There's I think Ills is in it doing some stuff with the Canada scene and stuff like that, or the team. And so
Yeah.
uh, what are your thoughts within that?
Um, I guess yes, there are the known guys that everyone knows. You mentioned a few of them, but
Yeah,
there's actually like a lot of guys that are dope as well. So I
for sure.
guess
Yeah.
uh so I run an Instagram page called Bag of Clips where I specifically focus just on Canadian dancing and dancing
Okay.
history in Canada. And so like let's say yes, you mentioned those guys, but like those guys looked up to someone else previous in Canada and like they were ill, maybe they didn't get the chance to travel or whatever, but they exist as well.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, like let's say other names that I can mention is like let's say Emma from Vancouver who's killing it right now from the West, or there's Unknown Floor Force, which I think some people know some of them, but like let's say it's Jason, Anyo, and Mark.
Uh-huh.
Kimar, it's like another crew coming up that is dope in Canada. There's all the Montreal has a crazy scene right now. Um,
Okay.
like everyone knows Sweet Technique, but like there's a plethora of like other dancers coming out of there that are really crazy. Mass, Mad Track are a couple of the names that are really nuts if you haven't seen them.
Okay.
Actually, people should know Mass. Mass has like won uh the past Red Bull and then a previous Red Bull in Canada before. So he's won it
Oh,
twice, the
wow.
Canadian. So like yes, there are other people, but like I guess they're not like being so seen internationally. Yes and no. But Phil is like winning big jams, and those are the people are watching those,
Right.
those
Yeah.
jams. So that's why he's like the most well known, of course. But yeah, Canada's got a lot of really dope guys that I feel like aren't so heard. And it's
Yeah.
always been kind of like that actually. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so me just
There's
doing this Instagram page, it's kind of like I know the most just because I'm forced to watch a lot of Canadian footage.
for sure. And what was it called again? Bag of Clips?
Bag of Clips. And
Bag of
so it's an
Clips.
homage
Okay.
to Bag of Tricks crew, which was probably the first international crew for Canada that people had seen. So let's say
Okay, okay.
UK champs 1999, they won. They also won they were in the finals uh, in Korea Cup 99. They were battling like Flowmaster, Ken Swift, Crumbs, like it was a
Oh
super
wow.
squad. So anyways, I think for the most part, Bagatrix was the first internationally known Canadian squad, and that's where the name came from. So
Dope.
Bagatrix, Bagatrix.
That's sick. Okay.
Yeah.
That works too. When you hear clicks or clips and clicks, it's
Yeah,
kind of
like
like,
clips of footage.
yeah. Oh, dope. Sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
And so
And
yeah, my bad.
speaking of Phil Wizard, definitely one inspirations for me to grow that mindset of like how ability, how these high level people or people, getting out there and getting involved in more competitions and just kind of building the mindset within Breaking to evolve, right? And so I seen him like kind of like a lower level at the time, kind of same level I was at a point of time, right? Coming at the Seattle jams and in Vancouver BC jams, but definitely an inspiration of me of seeing him to grow at that level to be up to that top winning big jams like that where it gives me an idea of like, oh, this stuff is possible, right? It's
Mhm.
just maybe my scene's not there yet, or this who I'm hanging out with, right? To get you to certain levels to evolve within the dance skills. Because for me, I've been off and on. I'll go hard for like a year and then I'll kind of slow down. Life kind of happens, but
Mhm.
I'm at the point where like it's consistency is key, right? Just don't stop, just keep going. And you know even though you get like one or two practice in a week, it's better than nothing. Right?
For sure.
So um yeah, and definitely, and speaking of consistency, what inspire you or drive you to stay consistent with breaking?
Um, I guess there was a time where like being competitive and trying to win was a big focus. Uh, but even if you get the win, it's like the feeling of like, yeah, this is dope is short-lived. And so I
Mm,
guess like what I'm trying to go for more is like you know, I guess I try to keep things interesting just to create a lot and hopefully be something special when someone sees me. So
okay.
like let's say I go to an event or somewhere, if I leave if someone leaves with me thinking like, yo, that was fresh that he did something, that is more valuable than a win. Because I think there's times where like
Yeah.
there's forgettable winners, I guess you could say. But also there's like people that just stay in your mind. And so I just try to hopefully be something interesting for someone.
Mm,
Not for everyone, but for someone. And so I guess that is the thing that keeps me going. Like even when I go to session, I try not to play like breaking mixes. It's whatever music I want to play. And
right.
so at
Yeah.
least when I get down, it's something new. I'm trying something new. Uh, it's not just um, running the same stuff that I've done before. I think
Yeah.
always being a student, I guess, is what an easier way to put it keeps me going. Also, like Toronto is a good city where there's a lot of older b-boys around where I don't feel as self-conscious. Like, like let's say if I was the
Uh-huh.
oldest
Yeah.
b-boy in the scene, I'd be like, oh, what am I doing? But now in this city, there's a lot of like hip hoppers around who are just out and about, always being seen. And I'm like, yo, I like this. Like, I can continue to keep going and not feel like I should stop because I'm turning 38 next month. And so that's kind
Okay.
of old, but like, I'm still like pretty active. Uh, Also, like I guess I haven't found something else to replace breaking that kind of triggers my brain where I enjoy it as much. Like some of my friends are getting into DJing, and it's
Hmm.
kind of like I'm seeing them transfer over like that passion they had for breaking is now into this. So for
Yeah.
me, I just haven't found that thing, I guess, for myself. It's just stayed breaking, so I keep on breaking.
Yeah.
I don't know. And so yeah, I guess that is just try to keep things interesting is to yourself, you know. And I think you'll break forever, hopefully.
Right.
Like, learn to adapt, I guess, is another thing as you age. Like you won't be able to do the same things you could before. Um,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
hopefully whatever you enjoyed about what you liked in your old self, you could transfer it into like footwork or something less intense as some other things, whatever,
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, find the enjoyment in other things within the dance, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's more than, it is with the movement, you're breaking, your skills, the footwork, foundation, top rock, stuff like that, or power moves. But it's, without within the dance, how could you, how look at it outside the box? Like, how do you keep it fulfilled with to keep doing it? So, um,
Yeah, like there are some people who like let's say have this image of their self, like this is how I used to be. It was so dope and whatever. Like I think we all have crew members that like after not practicing for a long time will just show up and try to air flare or try to do their old signatures. And it's like, dude, you can't. And the moment you do it, you're gonna feel sore the next day and not want a session. Like, you
yeah,
know, so it's kind of like ease into it. Maybe you can't do those things, just accept it. But like hopefully keep dancing. And so
yeah,
yeah, it's tough to like let an older self of you go. But I
for
really
sure.
respect
Yeah,
people who like can reinvent themselves in new ways and still be dope. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like one person who I always thought was like really dope was like let's say old Cloud, and then you didn't see him for a while, and then there was this new Cloud, and it's like two completely different move sets and ways of moving, and it's like, yo, like how you trashed all your old and you made something totally new, and they're both dope. That's crazy. And so like I guess that was an inspiration of like, okay, if I continue to keep breaking, like I don't want to just look like my old footage. Like if someone searches me
Yeah,
2023 and 2012, like they should be different, but hopefully
right.
just as dope. So that's like one of my goals, is to evolve and not be the same.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. Or Nasty Ray. A lot of people, I think, dislike the way Nasty Ray breaks now, considering how amazing he was before. Like he was like floating, basically dancing on his hands, a lot of power both ways. And then
right.
now he's
Yes.
kind of like this extremely musical, off the top b-boy. And some are like, why don't you do your old you? And he was just like, but this is high level too. But like I think people aren't like really seeing it.
Yeah, yeah,
But like I'm like, yo, I respect it because like he's over it. Or another person is like, if you see Bruce Almighty older footage, it's like amazing power shit. And then he's like a funny b-boy that's highly creative. He just chooses not to. And the fact that he like chooses not to do it, I respect it because it's like, yeah, I could, but no, I want to do this. So that choice
yeah,
actually is kind of like, I really respect that kind of thing. Like
yes,
I could do both, whatever.
yeah.
And I don't. Yeah.
Kind of. I don't really call it. Kind of, do what they feel and what they want, right?
Yeah,
To
what
the beat.
other people want to see versus like what they really want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I kind of resonate a little bit with that too, because like I got, so a few buddies for old crewmates or crewmates I practice here and there. And like I would practice, I would just kind of rock the beat, do footwork, top rock and stuff like that. And I'll do like a run, very basic, just to get the feelings. I'm not doing any big tricks or power moves or anything like that. And then he'll give me like, hey, that's it. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm like getting down for me. Like I'm not
Hmm.
trying to impress anybody or trying to blow anything up. I was like, and once I feel it, yeah, sure, I'll start doing that. But it's just kind of easing into the moves because I can't, you got it. I just turned 36, so getting
Okay.
into like power moves, like flares and like swipes and windmills, like it takes a little bit of time to just ease in. Right now,
Oh, for
just
sure.
once you stretch and you feel it, but I can't jump into it like I used to.
Yeah,
So
there was like a recent interview with Casper actually. I took it in and I think he says something about like, yeah, because I show up to a session, people like want me to levitate. Like he just wants to like come and break, but people want
yeah,
to see that old Casper. And I think like to some, Casper was like the best B-boy in the world to them at one time, you know? And it's like
yeah,
I don't think he can be that guy. He still wants to break, but don't expect that from him, you know? He can't kill it for life. He
right.
just he just wants to break for fun, you know? And so I thought that was like, damn, you know, it must be tough. Like he can walk somewhere and people are like, oh my God, Casper, and then he's expected to do his old self. It's like, you know, he can't.
Yeah,
Breaking's for him. And so yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It
Wow.
was a good interview.
thousand
That's good.
percent for sure, for sure. I actually saw a video when you brought Casper up. You could you did a few battle, or I saw a battle clip. You Casper versus you.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I don't know. This was probably like throwback. I don't even know how long ago. Maybe early 2000s.
2006 we battled in the finals of a it was so it's something that he was living in Canada at the time. He was like living in the States, then he had like a year or two in Canada. And so he
Okay.
was traveling around, battling across Canada, and I caught him at an event. We battled in the finals. It went to a tiebreaker, and
Oh,
like
sick.
he ended
Okay.
up like he felt like he won without the tiebreaker, but like he got up and like sat with the judges and then rolled out and like kind of like it was a call out to the judges and he kind of,
Uh
pointed or something like that, but he ended up winning. But yeah, so I guess I've always wanted to like battle him after that, but never got a chance to. But that was my one encounter with him.
Damn, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool because like he made such a impact of this name, right? And so to battle against him back in that time, it's pretty legendary, right? In my mind, I'm like, oh well, you battle against him like
Mm.
oh six, right? So it's cool, it's dope.
It's kind of interesting because like Casper, I think like a lot of people know of all the East Coast best B-boys that have come out, like the Dizzy, the Puzzles, Bridge, Migas, Bag of Tricks. Um, they're all from the East, but Casper and Phil are the two from Vancouver that like
Oh
really like,
really?
and so I guess like they're the only ones that have reached that level, that sort of stardom from the West. So kudos
Ah,
to them.
yeah, nice,
Casper was the
nice,
first, now it's Phil.
nice,
Yeah.
dope. Okay, cool. Nice, man. Cool. What are you up to nowadays? Are you working any projects or any build up in horizons or anything like that?
I guess I've been recently trying to hold events and not anything big though. I'm not able yet to do that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is like really bring back the hip hop vibe. And so actually just a couple weeks ago, I did an event where I brought all the boom boxes that I'm collecting to the event. We tried to use them for the sound. Um,
Oh, okay.
there was art there, graffiti there. It wasn't just breaking. So it's kind of like me and my homie Heist. He's the shop owner for a hip hop hub here. So he
Okay.
sells like uh, toys, figures, graffiti paint, like all that in his shop. And we held an event there. And so
Oh, dope.
like our goal is to like just have like a really true hip hop event with everyone under the same roof, you know.
Yeah.
I think the elements tend to get um separated, you know what I mean? Like
Yes,
breaking
yes.
events only have B-boys, let's say. And so we tried to get everyone. Even the DJ that we got was like a DMC champ before. So it's like he's actually can scratch and compete DJing. It's not that
Uh-huh.
he's playing breaking music. He also does parties. And so like the way that he spun the event was more like a party rather than uh
Yes.
like a
Like
bracketed event.
Yeah, like a battle or just a
Yeah.
competition.
So I guess that's what I'm trying to do is trying to bring that vibe back. Uh, because that is what we grew up with in like late 90s, early 2000s, and mid 2000s. And now it's like so competitive competition. Like I've even
Yeah.
attended like these world dance sport events and like let's say one of the rules is that there's no profanity. And so, okay, a lot of hip hop that we listen to that we really enjoy does happen to have profanity. And so it happened to like change the vibe and music of the event, which I didn't like. And maybe it was a long day. And I don't know, it just became really sport. Like, and I'm not enjoying it, but yet I'm
Yeah.
participating and going to these events. So I'm trying to bring it back to like how it used to be.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
and, I guess to some it's really dope, like to the younger gen, and to some it's kind of like maybe they're used to the other environment of like competition, but like
Mhm.
someone needs to show that this is how it was without them seeing how things were. They have no contrast. they won't know a
Right.
difference.
Yeah.
And so it's like
Yeah.
if they're birthed in this competition era and that's all they see, that's all they think it's gonna be. Like that's
Right.
how
Yeah.
it is for them. So yeah, that's my goal with these events and coming forward. Uh, Going forward, I mean, is you know, trying to bring the hip hop back. I even hear
Yeah.
b-boys say, which is so weird, like I like to break, but I don't like hip hop. Like that's so weird to me. Like, and hip hop is like, how you dress, how you walk, your swag, the music you
Yeah.
listen to, even the BPM and like hip hop artists sample certain music and like if you're listening to that you're really listening to like something older technically too, so it's like what do you
Mhm.
mean you don't like hip hop? Like it's such this like broad thing that like you should if you break, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's part of the hip hop element, right? Breaking and graffiti and DJ and MC. So
I
that
know, but
that
it's a weird landscape right now. It's going in this other direction that like yes it'll open all these doors, but at the same time like the
yeah,
culture is being lost. That's
yeah,
what I feel.
yeah, definitely, and people like you to kind of bring advocate for the new generation or the lost chapters of of back in the day when you got into it to get more in the culture and more of the into that culture scene, right? And instead of
Yeah.
promotion and commercials and stuff like that.
Like it's
Definitely
there's a
different.
lot of positives to it, but I guess like I'm just such an old head, you could say, that I'm still reminiscing about how things were. I know that like I should be adapting at some point, but like I'm sitting here being like, no, like I don't like this, but I'm the old guy saying this and things are changing and moving forward without me. So
Right. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I there's people that I know some people that they'll just go there for the competition. Oh, they didn't make top 16, I'm out. Or, pre after prelims or whatever,
hmm.
they'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna leave early and not enjoy the competition and vibe out with other people and Cypher and stuff like that. So I definitely understand what you mean. I mean, I'd like to stay the whole time, get down, Cypher, kind of network with other people. Hey, oh, that move is dope. Like, just
Hmm.
we'll talk, talk for a little bit and see how things are, and or maybe they're from out of town and stuff like that, and you get to know them a little bit more than just going there for the competition and leave, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm gonna do what I need to do next time, but maybe your next time you might not do what you thought during that time because it's every time on the moment of competition is always different, and so
Hmm.
yeah,
Well,
definitely
actually, some of my
things.
favorite events were like crew anniversaries, because I don't think it really gets you a lot of clout winning one of those events, but like it brings everyone together under one roof to celebrate a crew, and you're like there for like a while. I feel it's not like you're gonna lose and then dip at like one of those kind of events because you're celebrating something too.
Yeah.
So to me, like those events were my favorite back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dope. Dope. See, the only ones I've been to was the New Birth one because I mean I'm trying to expand my travels. Hopefully, with this next couple years. This
Mm.
year I did some traveling. Went to freestyle session. That was my first time, and It was real sick. I loved it, and
Nice.
seeing it at that level, and it felt like a to me it felt like a local jam, but
Hmm.
like super like on steroids, right? All these people, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I see these
Hmm.
guys on high level competitions, and they're right there across the hall from me and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
or even the same cipher. I saw B-Boy Born in the same cipher. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like intimidated. I was like, oh shit, that's B-Boy Born. I'm like, but yeah, stuff like
Yeah,
that. So,
it's crazy seeing
um,
some of these people live for sure.
yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So, I mean, there's upcoming things out there coming down the road that I'll like to attend more, like anniversaries and stuff like that, and kind of see their culture, their scene in those towns, and you know, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess when I was talking about the crew anniversaries, I think even like I was visualizing like 5, 10, 15 years ago crew anniversaries. I actually don't know
Oh, okay.
who's celebrating them now, I guess, when I think about it.
They're still out there, like in the States. I believe Floor Gang anniversary is coming up in May.
Okay.
There's in January they're doing a Full Force anniversary.
Oh, okay.
Next month I believe in January or something. They're doing that. I'm sure there's other ones out there. Just yeah,
I need to do my research. It sounds
there's a lot out there. If you research, man, there's a jam every weekend. It's crazy. It's
Mm,
crazy. Yeah, but
yeah.
like to
Mm,
attend as much as I can, but there's only so much I can actually would like to attend or put the time out to do it, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, man. Cool. Uh did so I'm probably gonna wrap it up here shortly. Before we end it, I like to do what's called a cipher round. And so
okay.
pretty much the rules is I'm gonna ask like 5 to 6 questions and whatever top of your mind you could think of, or if it takes like a couple seconds, just shout out your answer, right? So
Okay.
you ready for it?
I'll try my
Okay.
best.
All right, first question is what is your favorite breakdance move?
My favorite breakdance move
Yeah, yeah.
that I do or that I
You
like
do
seeing.
or sing. Um, Either or.
Uh, okay. Marlon used to do a like invert with the legs to the side. When he used to kill that, I used to think it was like one of my favorite freezes to see.
Okay.
I guess that's one of the first that comes to mind.
Okay.
And for myself, I guess there's a move that I call the Psycho Crusher from M. Bison. And it's sort of like a headless head swipe. It's just a quick sort of body roll, but I guess when
Oh,
I do
okay.
it, people get tripped out by it. I don't know. So maybe those are the things that
Headless
come to
bot.
my
Is
head
that
right
on the
now.
ground, like a ground move, like a head swipe,
Yeah,
but
it's
without
like
your head? Or
yeah, so I guess like head swipe is with it on the your head is and a foot is touching. A head and a foot is touching. But
yes.
like I guess it's just a parallel to the floor one, really low. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out. And Bison.
Yes, it's a friend named it the Psycho Crusher, so that's why I kept it that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a favorite artist or musician for music?
Favorite artist or musician?
Yeah.
I guess I guess for my Spotify, number one was Outkast.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Dope.
Like
Okay.
90s Outkast, or I've been listening to a lot of Diggable Planets. Uh
Okay.
their few albums have been my favorite in the last couple years, again, for some reason.
Nice. Dig
Yeah.
was that that's not the album, that's a different artist, right? Digital Planets? Or was that their
Yes,
album?
different artists, but
Okay.
I gave you two answers there.
Oh, okay. Cool. No,
Yeah.
90s, the first album Outkast was phenomenal. That was so good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I got to take in this flute album, the Andre 3000 flute album. You know about that?
I don't know.
Okay, so Andre 3000 is came out with a flute album at 48. It's just instrumentals of him playing the flute. It's not even
Oh,
him
no
rapping.
way. Okay.
Yeah. And it outsold other like hip hop albums this year, which is hilarious. But,
Really? Wow.
he did an interview on GQ talking about like, I don't know what I'm gonna rap about. I'm almost 50, so this is why I'm coming out with a flute album. It's kind of ridiculous, but I guess just if you Google it, you'll see all this interviews about him talking. But I love the
Okay.
integrity that he talks about. Like he's talking about authenticity and like I don't want to release a rap album just to like please you guys kind of thing. It's like if I finally
Right.
have something
Yes.
to rap about coming from the heart, then I'll make one. But as of now, no. That kind
Yeah.
of I'm paraphrasing, but yeah.
No, that's dope. That's dope. No, that's definitely a lot of yeah, like you said, authenticity for that, and he knows what he wants, and if when he's
Yeah.
ready to do a rap album, he's ready, right? And so
I don't think he'll ever do one, but a lot of people consider him a GOAT rapper, and he's just choosing not to rap, and it's like angering people, which is like hilarious to me. It's that choice, like, yeah, I could, but I won't because it's not,
right.
and I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. Dope, dope. Next question. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I'm not a fan.
No? Okay.
No, it's just very okay. I've definitely eaten it in the past and not enjoyed it, but it's
Okay.
not like it's gonna kill me if I eat it kind of thing. It's just like kind of yeah, it's just okay. Even the
Yeah, yeah.
ham as a meat on pizza, I think is just mid, and so together it's just like whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
in my
Yeah, for
opinion.
sure. I usually when I order, I'll replace the ham with like salami. But
Mm.
it's a little bit better than ham, I think. But yeah.
Oh, so you go salami and pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to add more, I put chicken and bacon on that. And
Oh, okay.
if you want to go over, it's bomb for sure. Okay, do you have a favorite book? Or are
A
you reading
favorite?
anything right now?
No, not really. I collect a lot of books, but it's like, let's say sneaker books, boombox books. I just picked up Midas's book. Um, I don't know if you know that, but here,
Okay.
hold on.
I'm not familiar with the Midas.
Oh, you're not familiar with Midas. Okay, so in the early 2000s, him, Robzilla, Elsewhere, and Cujo came out with a DVD called Detours, and it's by far the most creative breaking dance video ever made. It's
Oh
not
wow.
online,
Okay.
so if maybe you ask around, someone might have a copy of it.
Okay.
But yeah, he ended up writing a hip hop book
Oh,
where
word. The birth of breaking.
yeah, the birth of breaking. I guess it just kind of debunks a lot of things that maybe a person said it and we retell it as truth. But I guess he actually went and talked to like first gen B-boys, like 70s gen, and like got the real story from them. Because I think a lot of our knowledge comes from 80s and internet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And so I guess like it's kind of interesting, like I guess some of the things that he brings up as fact in hip hop. Like
Wow.
what Yeah, and so that's kind of like what his book is about. But
Dope.
Midas, if you haven't checked him out, um, really creative dancer. Probably when you take him in, you might identify him as like a popper b-boy, but
Uh-huh.
like his angles, shapes, and whatever are insane. His threads are insane. Um, yeah. Anyways, that's Midas. Shout
Wow.
out to
Okay.
Midas and originality stands alone.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. And how do you how for me, I this first time hearing it, right? And so how would I get my hands onto that book if I wanted down the road?
Oh, I guess he probably sells it on his Instagram.
Oh,
There's probably
okay.
a website attached to like his name.
Oh,
But
okay, okay.
yeah, he's a professor in Chicago or just outside of Chicago teaching hip hop. And so I guess
Mm.
like also he's selling this book too.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah,
No, that's good to know. It's good to know. I might check it out down, later on.
definitely you should.
Yeah, dope. And you said Chicago, Illinois, in the
Hmm.
States. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would.
he had some time in Toronto living out here, but he actually moved back last year.
Okay, that's
Yeah, so he's from
interesting.
the States, Toronto, and then went back.
Midas. Okay. I actually visited Chicago back in October and I was trying to look around. I was like, any B-boys down there? I was trying to check in, but I didn't do like a deep search or anything like that. And so I was just like, okay, what? I went there for a business conference, right? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe I could sneak away a day or two, maybe if they have like an open practice or something like that. But yeah, that was a while ago. So that's good to know. Cool, cool.
Yeah, he's like older. He's 42, I believe, 43. So, he's been active, but like he was in the first Lords of the Floor. Like you can find footage of him there battling with Orb.
Oh, wow.
So really ill B-boy. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Sick. Yeah. So last question. If you had a chance to enter a competition on a 2 versus 2, who would their partner be?
Uh
It could be anybody.
I guess maybe I'm a fan of Abstract, so that would have
Okay.
been cool. It'd be cool to meet him and battle with him maybe.
Yeah.
He's just one of
Sick,
many, but
sick.
like sure, I'll say Abstract.
Dope. Dope. Man, love it.
Mm.
Cool, man. Cool. Thank you for a blessing to have you on and taking the time to get on this podcast. I'm
You
gonna wrap it up here, but do you have any takeaways, last advice, or inspirational knowledge from you that you would like to give the viewers or audience?
uh I don't I don't know. I guess everything that I could say is really cliche about it, like
Yeah.
try to yeah, I guess earlier we were kind of talking about it, like really try to pull within and who you are and bring who you are into the dance. I
Okay.
think there's too much of absorbing like movements of b-boys and then like bringing that in and putting it out there. Just try to bring more you into the dance. Everyone is different. In my opinion, I like seeing specialists at something rather than average at everything, if that makes sense. Because I think we're continually
Yes.
told, like, get your foundation, get this, and then you're a b-boy. But, like, I guess growing up, I remember someone would be, like, amazing at power, someone would be amazing at footwork, or the weird thing that they're really good at. And
Yeah.
maybe they might even focus on just that, like a lot of it. But that's what made them stand out is
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And even like the flaws, I think flaws actually make you stand out more than perfecting, like stopping a flaw. I don't know if like you can make a flaw high level. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if you start to change it and everyone starts dancing the same, which that's a criticism you hear nowadays,
Hmm.
like that's making breaking uninteresting. So I want to see more weird and more odd things that people are proud about. I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense, but
Oh no, that to me it made sense. Hopefully the audience and viewers kind of understand that. Kind of
like
kind of
yeah, a simple thing, let's say, is like someone's always like, "Oh, correct your form. That's incorrect. It should look like this." But I think like as long as you like make it proper, that form that's incorrect will eventually become high level and like you'll be stuck with this like weird thing that's dope. I don't know.
yeah.
Uh yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's just be more proud of like who you are and flaws are dope. Flaws are interesting, but like, you know, make the
Yes.
flaw high level.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. 1,000%. That I get what you're saying. Definitely. I think need to see more of that. Like coming within, right? So
Mm,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
like
that's dope. That's dope. Cool, man.
I tried, man.
Yeah, no, you're good. That was good. I think that was very valuable, and I hope it inspires others. It definitely inspired me to kind of look, breaking in a different way from your point of view a little bit, right? And so,
Mhm.
Cool, man. Where if someone wants to get in touch with you down the road, where can we find you?
I guess Instagram, JBugz Felon, one word is my tag. I think that's probably the best place to look.
Dope,
You could
dope.
search YouTube as well. I'm on there. But if you want to actually message me, Instagram.
Okay. Okay. And then you also run the Instagram, you said Big of Clips as well.
Oh yes, yeah. If you want to learn about like Canadian history, yeah, follow Bag of Clips. I highlight also the new and current b-boys, but also the unsung b-boys that you may have not heard about.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, there are a few people following it already. Uh, Maybe about 500 posts. So there's a lot to go back on. I'm
Mm.
trying to like create hashtags to like, make it easier for someone to go into the archives instead of just like flipping back. But
Right.
and also like I digitize the footage myself. So I have VHSs and tapes and whatever that like people send me, and like
Oh,
that
okay.
page literally has like it's the only place to see that footage, some of it. So
Yeah.
I hold like a lot of footage that no one's seen, I guess you could say. And it ends up on there. It's not even on
Nice.
YouTube. So
On
yeah, take it
Instagram.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you could do it to re-bring it, right? You can go back and go to like post 5 and put that into your back, add back to your story. You know how like you can share it to your story.
Hmm.
So that way, be like,
Yeah.
hey, if you miss post 5, this is, just a little small thing. And maybe, I don't know if you can add links exactly, but, in case you missed this go back to post number 5 or whatever. And then maybe they'll come
Mhm.
back and scroll down and see it, right? So,
Yeah, like I guess then I was still learning. Like initially, Bag of Clips is actually me and my homie Switch B. And so it was actually both of us posting footage, and then it just became me. I kind of took it over because he's a rapper, producer, b-boy, host, like he does everything. Well, I understand like he doesn't exactly have the time for us to do it together.
yes, yes,
Um,
for sure.
but like yeah, how we edited footage before was just funny in the earlier stages. Now it's kind of like a formula. It's better. But I will reshare
Right,
the
for sure.
info. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah. No, that's great. I think content, it's still, it's always gonna be there and grow, right? And so it's always, I take it like when you're building content, it's almost like breaking. You gotta start and then be great, not can't be great and then start. So like,
Mm,
you gotta learn foundations and basics, and it evolves, it gets better every time. Next video it gets better, like within your moves, right? So
mm,
in, different perspective of that style, right? People might like your style in that content or someone else's style in content. So I kind of take two and two and use that, the beat or breakdance philosophy, kind of like learn the basic foundation and apply it to other categories. So
true.
yeah, dope, man. Cool, man. Hey, thank you. I appreciate taking the time to being on the show. Totally blessing. I think you dropped some great knowledge and definitely inspired me and hopefully others. If you guys find this valuable, like, share, follow. Peace. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Thank you, man.
Couple months before that, even I helped a friend out throwing one of their last jams, participating in the door, and then I also entered with some people from Riverside. These guys called the Droogies, and we ended up winning. We beat the Foot Soldiers, who ended up becoming the Rhythm Bugs. We beat them, so I ended up winning like a piece of like, I don't know if it was 500 or $1,000. Got like half the door. So like, after that I was like, oh dude, I can make a little bit of money and have fun in the process. Like, I'm gonna do another one. So I ended up doing another one. And it was initially going to be called The Session.